Alright, so please listen carefully to how we're going to grade these. Each problem is worth 6 points. So, that's 6 points for A, 6 points for B, 6 points for C, 6 points for D. Now, what method of solving did we do yesterday? Graphing. So what must they have?
3 for graph and 3 for the correct answer.
It'll be 3 for the equation, making sure they converted it correct, 3 for the graph. So this part is 3 points. When we graph it, it'll also be 3. Does everybody understand?
Yes.
Are we sure?
I did it.
Get out a marker to grade. We need a marker. Jenny, can I trust you to grade your own paper?
I'm grading.
Awesome. Are we ready?
No.
Okay.
I didn't even say that.
It's fine. I'll just smack you around a little bit. I'll take your crutches from you. Are we ready? Are we ready?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Alright, so for A. Now, these are not in slope-intercept form. So the first thing you had to do was convert them to slope-intercept form. So to convert this one, we would have subtracted 8x, and then you would divide by negative 4. So that would give you 2x minus 4. For this one, you would add 5x divided by negative 5, so that would give you negative x or negative 1x minus 1. So if they got this part correct, they get 3 points. If they did not, they get no points for this part. Then they get 2 points. Is everybody with me? Are we sure? Alright, now the graph. So when you were doing your homework last night, did you struggle more with the solving or the graphing?
Graphing.
We've been graphing for 2 months.
I know, but I still suck at graphing.
Okay. Alright, so please check their graphs against mine. They needed to be on the same graph. Well, they had to be on the same graph.
It's done. I heard.
So I'm going to graph my top one in green and my bottom one in orange. So for this one, the first thing we do is we go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, put a dot. And my slope is positive 2. So I'd go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1. And then for my second one, I would go down 1 first because my y-intercept is negative 1. My slope is negative 1. So I would go down 1, right 1. Oh my gosh, they intersect. Down 1, right 1. Down 1, right 1. And my solution is 1, negative 2. Now, if they have both lines and the solution written down, they get all 3 points. If they just have the 2 lines, but they didn't write the coordinate, they get 2 points. So the lines are worth 2, the coordinate's worth 1.
If they're right.
If they're right. So you'll write beside A, you'll write how many points out of 6. So I graphed mine right, so I get 6 out of 6 points. And I got my equation right. If they got both of these wrong, then they get 2 points. If they only got one equation, they get 2 points. What was your question?
If they didn't pick the order pair,
It's minus 1. So this is 1 point. These are 2 points. This is 3. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 gives me 6. Are we ready for the next one? Are we sure? Did I tell us to change this to 9? Okay, just making sure. I didn't write it on my paper. Alright, so on B, does this, now that we've talked about it together, does that help anybody if you had any confusion last night? That one was easy? Okay, you guys know I need you to speak to me and give me some kind of feedback to understand where we're confused, right? Because I don't read your little minds and the rocks rolling around. I don't know what's happening up there. Okay, good talk, taters, good talk. So for the first one on B, you would subtract 2x and then you divide by 3. So your equation would be y equals negative 2/3 x plus 3. And then your second equation would be y equals negative 2/3 x plus 2. Do y'all see where I got this from? Do I need to work it out? Is anybody alive? I can work it out. I can. I'm going to do it on this sticky right here. Which one? The top one or bottom one? Okay. So I have 4x plus 6y equals 12. That means that I would subtract 4x from each side, correct? Because we're trying to get y by itself. So I'd subtract 4x, and that would give me 6y equals negative 4x plus 12. Yes? We're not there yet. Please just let's stay together. Alright, so then we would divide by 6. So we would divide everything by 6. So negative 4 divided by 6 gives me negative 2/3 x. 12 divided by 6 gives me 2. Yes, no, zombies?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if they got only one equation right, they get 2 points. If they got both, they get 3. If they didn't get any of the equation right, they get no points for that. Are we ready to graph? So, B. Alright, so for my top one, what do I do first when I graph this? Label my axes, and then what do I do? Go. That doesn't tell me anything.
Other than 3. 0, 3.
On where?
On the right.
Okay. There's 2 plus 3. Stop saying it over and over because I told you that wasn't it. Congratulations.
I forgot there were 2 plus 3.
Now what do I do? Down to... Do I do it again?
The first thing went down 3.
Oh, potatoes. Thanks. Yeah, you get a point, Micah. Y'all got to circle it on there. You're not going to get a point for today. Alright. Now, for my next one, I had to go where first? And then? Now, are these ever going to intersect? No, they are parallel lines. They have the same slope. So what kind of solution do we have? Now, if you did not write no solution, that's okay for this first one. So if they got their graphs right, 3 points. They didn't graph? 1 point for no solution. Because we had to graph. Are we ready for C?
I'm not doing good on that.
That's okay. It's the first time. Is it the solving that you're having some issues with, or is it the graphing?
I think it's the solving because I didn't simplify the 4 divided by 6.
Mm-hmm.
So I just put 4, 6, instead of 2 thirds.
Should still give you the same graph. Because if you did you simplify the 2, the 12 to the 2?
On which?
on B.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so then you would go up 2, and then you would go down 4, right 6. That would leave you right here. So that's okay. If the graph ends up in the same points that I have, that's okay. But we just need to make sure we're reducing our fraction, okay?
Okay.
Do you always reduce it?
Always. Always. Alright, so for C, look at those. They are already in slope-intercept form. So they get 3 points. They didn't have to do anything. Magic! Now for the graphing. It is 75,452.3 degrees. I'm about to throw up. I'm so hot. I'm dying. Stop! You make it so uncomfortable. It's still hot. This didn't help any. Stop. Alright, so I'm going to graph this first one in red. And I'm going to graph the bottom one in green. Alright, so our first one is y equals 6. That means that it has to pass through which axis? The y. So you would just go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom, it would look like that. Alright, for the next one, it's y equals 3x plus 4. So I would go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, put a dot, and then I would go up 1, 2, 3, right 1. Down 1, 2, 3, left 1. Agree, disagree? Now, this one does not cross at exactly a point, correct? It crosses right here. So as long as they at least identified somewhere where it crosses, I'm fine with that.
What if we, on mine, like where I thought there was like little crosses, I put 1, 6. Would that be?
No.
Would that be wrong?
Mm-hmm. On this one? For y equals 6? Because we don't have a slope. We don't have an x. So it just says y equals 6. So that means that at every single y value of 6, that's where it's going to cross, so it makes a horizontal line. That's a great question. Yes? I can't hear you. If they only got one line correct, they get 2 points.
Oh, they get.
The equations are 3.
And then over about like
1 point. It factors into the other one. Don't worry about that. If they only got one equation right, then this doesn't matter. But if they didn't circle this, if they got both equations right and they didn't circle, that's -1. But if they only graphed one line right, then that doesn't matter. Does that make sense? Okay. She got both of the equations right, so that's 3. Did she graph both right? Okay. Did she graph one of them right? So that's 2 points. Alright, are we ready for D? Maybe. Oh, we had to convert D. Alright, so for the first one, we should get y equals 1/4 x minus 6 divided by 8 is what? 3/4? 3/4? Yeah. And then for the next one, it would be y equals 1/4 x minus 3/4. Are those the same thing? So it's going to be the same line. So when you graph it, it's going to look like this. Now, if they got only one right, they only get 2 points. You have to get both of these converted correctly. So, yes.
why is it minor right for
Then that's not okay. Because that makes 2 different things.
So if they got both wrong, it's 0.
Yeah. Stop!
I'm saying,
Stop!
I want to show my mom. So.
Your mom? No, that's not. Stop. You're making me uncomfortable.
She'll be alright.
This is the most uncomfortable class.
Wait till next week.
Stop.
Yeah.
You don't have to quit if the other comes.
Just wear moo-moos. Alright, so our equation was y equals 1/4 x minus 3/4. So that means that I'm going to go down 3/4. So that's a little bit right here. And then I need to go, it was positive 1/4, so I would go up 1, right 1, 2, 3, 4. And then down 1, left 1, 2, 3, 4. And you just have one line. And it would be infinite solutions. Now, if they did not write infinite solutions, that is perfectly okay. Make sure their graph is right. Infinite solutions means it's the same line they would hit every single time.
Can you tell me that last equation? Okay.
Alright, total of how many points they got? It's out of 24. 3 points? That's okay. Yes. Yes. -1. Yes. No, you can do it on your own. You're a big girl. What is it that you need?
Okay, so like if we work this out on this sheet,
Move on to substitution, but we're not actually moving on. Our homework for tonight is going to be practicing graphing and substitution, so you'll have more practice. Don't worry. Stop looking at me like that.
I was looking at the number 4.
why are they not here? You said substitution.
Substitution. Substitution. So what does the word substitution mean?
In place of.
Replace, in place of, put in place of. Plug in, correct? So that's what we're going to be doing today, is plugging in. And it is super easy. 37. Yes. Are we ready?
We are.
I was writing it out, I swear. I wasn't going to solve it. I was just writing it out. It says.
Okay, so we need out the page that says substitution. We need to title it page 37 with our date and our learning target. Alright, so it's straightforward today. I can solve a system of equations using substitution. So today is level 2 because we haven't done this before. We have to apply what we know. Level 3 and level 4 would be if we created our own system, but today I'm just going to give you your own systems. Now, next week you're going to have a test on systems of equations. It's going to be the LTF with the word problems, but this is an easier one. You just create your own system. Like, it really is easy.
Oh, we're not doing that on Friday?
This Friday? No.
And I found out the name of that substitute. Name substitute.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
Are we ready? Your hand is not broken, it's your leg. Write faster. Okay, so we are going to use substitution today to solve our system. And it gives us steps, step by step, on what we need to do and how we do it. So this is our system, and we usually use this when we have a variable that is by itself. So this time we have x plus 2y equals 8, and we have y equals 2x minus 1. So we know what y is. Our whole goal for substitution is to plug in what we know to find the other variable. So step 1, it says to solve one equation for one variable. Choose an easy one. So do we have an equation that is already in one variable? Yes. Which one is it? So by step 1, we're going to write y equals 2x minus 1. And I'm going to use two different colors so that we can visually see what's happening. So we have our variable that's by itself. We know what y equals. Now this says, step 2, substitute the equation from 1 into another equation. So we are going to take what we know that y equals, and we're going to plug it in for y into our other equation. So I'm going to say x plus 2, because that's my first equation. Now what does y equal?
Parentheses 2x minus 1.
Yep, so we're going to say parentheses 2x minus 1 equals what? Awesome. Now, step 2 and 3 go together. I'm not sure why I put so much space here. I don't know. Who knows what happened? So, does everybody see what we did with step 1? We just wrote down our equation where our variable is by itself. Step 2, we plugged in. So I took what x equal, or what y equals, it equals 2x minus 1, and I plugged it into the first equation. Is everybody with me? Are we sure?
I was confused with no.
Okay, awesome. Sometimes it helps to just talk it through again. Alright, step 3, it says solve for remaining variable. So we're going to solve this one for x. How would we solve that?
You put a shield around it.
Oh, you saw right.
You got it right, Christine. Your table gets a point. So you distribute, and you get 2 times 2x gives you 4x. 2 times negative 1 gives you minus 2 equals 8. Is everybody with me? Are we sure?
Yes.
What do I do from here?
You do x plus 4x equals 5x, and then you do plus 2 to both sides.
Stop. I'm not there yet.
Okay, now do plus 2.
Alright, so we combine like terms and we get 5x minus 2 equals 8. Now, Andrew, what do we do?
We add 2 to the 2, the negative 2, and the 8, and then you get 10.
Fantastic. Take a point.
And then you do 5x equals 10. Draw a little line under them.
And then you
yeah,
divide
you
by
get
5.
0. Yep.
So, x equals 2. Does everybody see how we got x equals 2?
Yes.
Are you sure? Okay, now we know what x equals, but we know that a solution to a system has to be an ordered pair. So we have to figure out what y is. How can we figure out what y is? What does step 4 say?
The value from number 3 to find
Yep.
the other value variable.
Okay, that was not very cultish. That was kind of off kilter. So what we're going to do is we're going to take x right here and we're going to plug it in. So we know that y equals 2, and what does x equal? Times 2 minus 1. What's 2 times 2?
4.
What's 4 minus 1?
3.
So then we write our answer as a coordinate. It has to be an ordered pair, so then you just take these and write it as 2, 3, and boom, you're done.
Hope we get the line again.
We took our x value that we have right here, that we found, and we plugged it back in. So I took x equals 2, and I put it right here so that I can find y. Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Did the different colors help so you can see it as we go through, besides the weirdo? Okay. Okay, so we're going to do one more together. It's okay if you don't completely understand. We're going to do one more together to practice, and then I'm going to let you try one on your own, and then we're going to get our homework.
Where did you get that 2 from?
This 2?
No, number 4.
From this 2? So what we do, we found x, correct? We need to find y. So I took what x equals and I plugged it in to find y. Substitution is all we're doing today. So turn your paper over. So I took my substitution page. I turned it over because I'm going to put my problems on the back. This is 37B.
Is our homework still in there?
We're not there yet. Alright, so this is going to be problem A.
Homework.
We're not there yet, as she just said, like 2 seconds ago.
Alright, so solve the system using substitution. So, right now what we're doing is I'm telling you which system or which method to use. If I say solve by graphing, you're going to solve it by graphing. If I say solve by substitution, what are you going to do? If I said solve by potatoes, what are you going to do?
Get something.
Exactly. So I'm telling you what to do. You cannot do it another way right now. We will get to the point where you can choose. But right now we're not there. Alright. Are we ready? Our first system, write your squiggy. Alright, so our first system says x equals y minus 2 and 4x plus y equals 2.
What is that?
Always happens.
Okay, so remember, we use substitution when we have a variable already by itself. In this problem, do we have a variable already by itself?
Yes, the first one.
So, our step 1 was to figure out which variable to get by itself. We know which one is by itself, so we write x equals y minus 2. This one's going to be orange. This one's going to be purple. Now, step 2, we substitute. So, I'm going to take what I know that x equals, and I'm going to plug it in for x in my other problem. Is everybody with me?
Yes.
So, how would I write that?
4, then parentheses, y minus 2, and then close parentheses, then plus y.
Alright, take a point. Is anybody confused on where we are right now? Again, your leg is broke, not your hand. Are we ready? Okay, now, we need to solve for y. That's step 3 is solving for y. So how would we do that? Distribute. Very good. And we would get 4y minus 8 plus y equals 2. Now, why did I not distribute my 4 to this y right here?
Because it's not in the parentheses.
Very good. What do we do from here?
Yeah.
Alright, now, these are on the same side, so you would not subtract them. You would combine them. Combine like terms. It would be 5y minus 8 equals 2.
I know what you
Then plus 8
plus E.
divided by equals
You get 10.
Then divide by 5 and then y equals 2.
Take a point.
Way to go, Betty Joe.
Is everybody with me on how we got y? Are we sure? If you're not, you gotta speak. Okay, so we found y. What do we need to find now? X. That's our step 4 is finding x. So we know that x equals, what is y?
2 minus 2.
Equals 2.
So what does x equal?
0.
0. Fantastic. And we have to write it as a coordinate, correct?
Yes.
0, 2. Fantastic.
Oh, I love not understanding.
Isn't it nice?
Why would it be 0? There you go.
Alright, so I'm going to give you a problem. No one start working it out until I say go. Because the first table done gets 3 points.
Just the first person in right now?
Yes, this is going to be B. Now, nobody start until I say go. You cannot cheat. And actually, you know what? I'm not even going to let y'all write it down. I'm not even going to let y'all see what I'm doing. Well, somebody's going to cheat, so...
First person done in the group.
Yes, but you have to be completely right to get it.
A point or 2?
3.
I think we should go crazy.
No. Let's keep it simple. We're not going crazy. We're not going crazy. We're not going crazy. Not just yet. Not just yet. Marshall said he can do crazy.
Ready?
No.
I'm not ready.
I may be young, but I'm ready.
He wasn't ready.
I know this one. Okay, we're ready.
Wait. I got the chills. You got it.
All right.
Okay,
Here we go. All right. I got 2 zeros.
I thought you got 2.
So I took this one and I added 2x to both sides and got 2x minus 4. Then I took that and plugged it in for y. And I said 2x plus 2x minus 4 equals 4. Combined like terms and got 4x minus 4 equals 4. Added 4 and then got x equals 2. From there, I took my 2 and plugged it back in and it got 2, 0. So if you made a mistake, tell me where you made a mistake. What happened? What? Distribute? Okay. Do you see why we don't distribute? So we solved for y, correct? And we plugged it in here. Is there a number in front of y?
No.
So you don't distribute. There's no number in front of y, so you don't distribute. You just plug it right in. Does anybody else see where they might have made a mistake? Yes.
If we done it with like minus y on the top, and still got my 3.
Subtracting y here?
Yeah.
And then dividing by 2? And using fractions? Yes. Alright, now, your homework tonight is that sheet that I gave you. You have, each person has a different one, A and B. You're going to work out your page, and then tomorrow you're going to come back and compare your answer with your partners. That way we can make sure we have the same thing. Now, this is practicing graphing and substitution. One way you're going to graph, the other way you're going to substitute. Do it the way it tells you to. It is practice, practice, practice. That's what we're doing. Does everybody understand?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Do the whole page front and back?
Yes, front and back, whole thing.